Hey there, DeepSeek R1 release happened a couple of days ago. I already have done a video on this. We had a look at the chat interface yesterday. It is time to do some coding with this, how we can code using the R1 models. Look at these prices here. This API, it's actually beaten Claude 3.5 Sonnet. I'm usually a cursor user with Claude's 3.5 Sonnet model. If we have a look at the Aider LLM leaderboards, R1 is at the forefront for coding. DeepSeek R1 is at the second position, has beaten Claude 3.5 Sonnet. Open source model, very cheap. We're going to look at two VS Code extensions, Cline and Cline. Aider also can be used with DeepSeek R1. I don't prefer it because it doesn't have that autonomous agent functionality yet, whereas Cline and Cline has agent functionality. It can automatically loop through the instructions. They don't necessarily have to wait for users' input to approve the changes. You obviously need to install VS Code. If you don't have VS Code, go ahead and install it. And after that, you need to install Cline extension. Under Extensions tab, you search for Cline and you'll see the first result. Install it. I have already installed it. Once that is done, this little box will appear here. This has an agent functionality similar to Cursor and also has plan mode and an act mode. Plan is basically acting as an architect of the whole application. The first thing that you need to do is to select the API provider from here. In there, select DeepSeek, provide your DeepSeek API key. To get the DeepSeek API key, go to platform.seek.com, simply click on new API key and create the API key there. You can top it up from as little as $2. Reasoner is a little bit more expensive than DeepSeek Chat V3, but it's still very cheap. So once that is done, go back to Visual Studio Code, select the model, DeepSeek Reasoner, enter your DeepSeek API key here. And once that is done, click Done. You can enable or disable this auto approve mode. I am prototyping for an AI note-taking app. So I have this journal app prompt ready. I want to create a journal app. I should be able to write a journal and get AI suggestions for actionable steps. That is basically what I'm telling it. I'll just copy paste there. Even though you select auto approve, if the model deems that it needs explicit approval, it will still ask for the approval. Run command and press enter. You can also see how many tokens are being used and the API cost. You can see that the agent is auto approving. It is also asking me to ask the DeepSeek API key here. I'm going to enter the API key. Somehow I think this combination is actually good. Probably better than Cursor and 3.5 Sonnet. The only thing that I've noticed so far is that Sonnet version has more knowledge. It's more up to date. It has knowledge of newer versions of Next.js, etc. So now it has completed the task. Run that command. And let's try to run the app itself. Journal entry. We will correct the Next.js configuration in a bit. This is an idea that I had. For example, I do daily journal entries and this will extract the actions and feed it into my Todoist. Drink more water. So if I wait for 4 seconds, it will come up with new suggestions. Schedule gym sessions at least 3 times a week. Set a consistent bedtime and wake up time. You get the idea. That was pretty sweet. Oh, the whole thing was done in less than 4 minutes. Let's try the same thing with Cline. Similar sort of setup. Type in Cline, and that is code. Install that. It's the same extension. They renamed it. Very similar to Cline. Select the API provider, DeepSeek. Copy the DeepSeek API key there. Select DeepSeek Reasoner. Enable auto approve. The difference here is that you have a code mode, architect, and ask mode. So Cline is basically a fork of Cline. You get the idea. Let's try out Aider now. Aider, similar stuff, but it is more of a terminal command. Go to Aider. You have the installation procedures here. You just follow this commands, open up your VS Code. To configure Aider with DeepSeek, you can create a new file at the root of the project called aiderconf YAML. And then you say model and editor model. This is similar to the architect and the code from Cline or the plan and act from Cline. The powerful model will be DeepSeek/DeepSeek Reasoner and editor model will be DeepSeek Chat. You can save that. Make sure there's no YAML in there. YML. It will give you a short summary. Main model, DeepSeek Reasoner, and weak model is DeepSeek Chat. Just going to use the same prompt here. The thing with Aider is that it doesn't have an agent functionality yet. So you have to manually press enter every time it comes back with a response. But it's much more pleasant to look at. That is essentially how you configure the models, DeepSeek R1 models. You can also run the DeepSeek distill models here on LM Studio or Olama and set the base URL to these local models, 32 billion. That is the most performant when trying to install on local machine using Olama or LM Studio. So yeah, try it out with Cline, Cline, and Aider. Tweaking the prompt might give you better results. If you want to do any sort of AI automation, reach out to me. I have a Develop MVP service where I create AI apps and automations for others. So reach out to me. I have some free tools here for SaaS developers. Join my Discord. Check out the free tools here. Book a call here and we can have a strategy session, how to approach your AI implementation for your agency, or even if you want a process automated using integration tools like Make and using the latest reasoning models, etc. Reach out to me. I also have other products here for SEO agencies. Click here, SEO AI bot. Check it out if you want. This is basically a deep research AI content bot, a couple of AI agents running in the background to optimize your pages, submit to Google Index. I have a newsletter as well. I will add the link for the newsletter in the description.